On April 26, 1986, the number 4 reactor in the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant spun out of control during a test and exploded within the building. The result was enormous amounts of radiation being emitted into the air and atmosphere in the small city of Pripyat, Ukraine. Unfortunately, the explosion led to over 30 people to die and wiped out acres of farmland and forest. It deformed livestock, harmed plants, and caused people in the area long-term health issues. To this day, the effects of Chernobyl are still being experienced by people living in the fallout areas. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be discussing 3 discoveries surrounding the Chernobyl disaster and its history. The ghosts of the Chernobyl disaster. The Chernobyl disaster not only caused immeasurable pain and fear in the lives of the people in Ukraine, but it also struck fear into their hearts. Many people and workers of the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant claimed to have been experiencing strange events and sightings of a mysterious creature weeks before the incident occurred. The creature was described as a large, ominous, jet-black and bird-like figure appearing before scared people. It was said to look like a headless human with a nearly 20-foot wingspan. The creature would later become known as the Blackbird of Chernobyl. This same creature is said to have appeared before the Silver Bridge collapse in West Virginia. This has led researchers to claim that it only appears before terrible events and is a bad omen. One nuclear physicist named Andrei Kozhukov had been taking a reading of the radiation levels at the abandoned power station when he heard the screaming of someone inside. They were screaming for help and yelling that there was a fire inside. However, it would be seemingly impossible for someone to be inside the plant, and he had been the first to open the door in 3 years. This was not the only odd or paranormal thing to happen, as there were also reports of lights turning on and off inside several rooms of the plant. Nonetheless, this could be the result of power surges or something similar. After numerous incidents were reported, a popular show from Sci-Fi conducted a paranormal investigation to see if they could find anything inside. During their investigation, aside from dangerous levels of radiation, they detected the movement of people coming from inside the building. We are still unsure what is happening inside the site of Chernobyl, but it remains a haunted destination and one that is considered cursed among the locals. Chernobyl Defects. The Chernobyl disaster caused long-lasting health effects on the people living in Pripyat. The radioactive particles emitted from the explosions destroyed millions of acres of farmland while taking the lives of many animals and people. Additionally, the radiation caused the deformation of animals, such as facial malformations, different coloring, size changes, and sometimes additional body parts. However, animals were not the only ones to be affected by the radiation flowing through the atmosphere. Many people under the age of 18 from 1991 to 2005 were reporting thyroid cancer. These people were called the children of Chernobyl, as the cases of thyroid cancer are said to be linked to the radiation exposure. This was the main health defect caused by the explosions, but there has also been an increase in the risk of stroke, mental disorders, and cognitive impairment in people who were alive when the explosion took place. In addition, those under 5 years old were known to suffer from stunted growth, immune disorders, cancer, and poor dental health because of radiation exposure. It is still being reported that children who live in fallout zones are experiencing higher than normal levels of radiation. It's also negatively affecting the food supply with radiation contamination. The result of this is children being born with higher chances of deformities, tumors, heart defects, as well as the aforementioned thyroid cancer. An ongoing concern is that the radiation exposure may have caused genetic mutations that will be passed on to the children of those who were or continue to be exposed. Nonetheless, not everyone can leave the fallout zone, whether it be from financial issues or lack of willingness to abandon their home. We can only hope that as time progresses, these issues begin to solve themselves and the radiation levels continue to decrease. The Red Forest is now one of the most contaminated zones in the world. During the explosion, a forest of pine trees west of the power plant was hit by an enormous amount of radiation. This resulted in all of the trees turning a rustic bright red color. This led to it being named the Red Forest. The forest was hit with so much radiation that even today, it's considered the most contaminated site in the world. The site is home to many rare species like lynx, black starks, black grouse, and several others. In addition, the soil doesn't filter radiation as quickly as other surfaces, and the forest is likely to remain radioactive for thousands of years. As a result, this forest has been a popular destination for scientists interested in studying the effects of radiation on nature, plants, and animals. After the explosion, efforts were made to reduce the spread of the radiation, and a majority of the trees were bulldozed and buried along with any radioactive soil. 2 to 3 meter deep trenches were dug and covered with lots of sand. The sand then had pine saplings and other shrubs planted on top to try and keep the sand in place. The worry was that if the radioactive contaminants leaked into the groundwater, they could eventually make their way to the Pripyat River. If you are interested in visiting the forest, you can participate in one of the many guided tours being offered. It's estimated that close to 100,000 visit each year to see the exclusion zone. However, entering the forest is strictly prohibited, but you can stand at the edge and look into it as far as the eye can see. The forest is roughly 400 hectares and full of mysteries waiting to be discovered. The disaster of Chernobyl was one of the most notable nuclear explosions to ever happen on Earth, and hopefully it will be one of the last. It resulted in serious injuries, illness, and the passing of many people, and it continues to affect those living in the area. Not only have there been physical repercussions of the accident, but supposedly paranormal ones too. But what do you make of these recent discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.